it's Jennifer from Fiberflux. Welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to be making the Birthday Cake Crochet Shawl. This is a beautiful shawl full of fun, happy colors, super easy stitches, and I'm going to show you how to do it every stitch of the way. Now, there's lots of ways to get this pattern. You can watch the full video tutorial here today that we're going to do from start to finish. You can find the free written pattern over at the blog. You can also get the ad-free PDF either in my Ravelry shop or my Etsy shop. And also you can join on Patreon and get the Fiberflux Gold Pattern Club. It's a $5 a month monthly access to all of my patterns and for that month, and then it flips over to the next month. So that's a really fun place to hang out too. So let's get started. The finished shawl measures about 17 inches wide and about 44 inches long. However, in the video, I'm going to show you how to use multiples to kind of scale your shawl. You can go narrower and even make it a scarf. You could go really wide and make a nice wide shawl or even a blanket. And then working more rows of the pattern will determine its length. So let's jump in, and I'm going to show you how to do the stitch pattern first, then how to change colors, and then how to customize your shawl a little bit and do some finish work. For this project, you'll need a pair of scissors, a tapestry needle. A tape measure is super helpful, especially if you want to customize the size of your shawl a little bit, if you want to make it a little bit more narrow or longer or vice versa. And then for a hook, we're going to be using a 5mm H crochet hook. All right, let's talk about this gorgeous yarn. I have all these really fun colors, really happy colors. This is Amigo from Hobie. This is a yarn I've used before. It's lovely and soft, nice stitch definition, easy to work with, comes in a ton of colors. And I'm going to tell you all about the colors themselves in just a minute. But I have 5 balls of yarn here. Each ball of this yarn is 191 yards. So I'm going to use a total of 955 yards total for our shawl, okay? Now, if you need to substitute yarn, look for, on your back of your yarn label, I have a like a little yarn ball with a number in it. This is a number 3 light on the yarn weight scale. Just look for that. And the this recommends a G or an H crochet hook. We're going to use the H, okay? So a G or an H crochet hook and a number 3 light yarn. And then again, 955 yards of that total, okay? Let's talk about the colors. I'm going to use one ball of each color, okay? 5 balls of yarn total. Now, this color, this pretty blue color, is called turquoise. This is color A22 if you're looking for it on their site. We have this very bright pink. It's just called pink, and it's A54. A60, this is called violet. A59, this is called lavender. And then A21 is light turquoise. Okay, again, 5 balls of yarn for this project. Now, anything that you see here, the scissors, the hooks, the yarn, can be found on my shop page on the blog. I'll put the link down below for that if you need to get any of these tools or if you're looking for this yarn for your project. Again, this comes in tons of colors, but I'll put the link down below so you can shop everything there. So we are going to do the starting chain first. Now, our starting chain is a multiple of 4 plus 1, okay? So when I talked about making your shawl narrower or wider, we're going to work in multiples. So the multiple, if you're not familiar with that, when you're doing your starting chain, it's going to be 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 and so forth until you get about the width that you want, and then add 1 more chain onto that. So multiple of 4 plus 1, okay? So if you need to change that starting chain, you'll know what to do. Our starting chain for the shawl at the beginning of the video is going to be 73 chains, okay? So what we need to do to begin is put a slip knot on our hook. So wrap the yarn around your fingers to make a loop, bring the yarn behind that loop, reach in with your hook, bring up the loop and tighten, okay? And like I said, we're going to do 73 chains, okay? So to make a chain, wrap the yarn around the hook and bring it through the loop. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 71, 72, and 73, okay? So here is our starting chain, and this will give you a rough idea as to the size of the width when you create your own chain, okay? Again, you can adjust the multiples as needed and adjust that starting chain. So what we're going to do is start on row 1. So for row 1, we're going to work in the 5th chain from the hook to begin. So this loop here does not count. we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this 5th chain from the hook. And we're going to work 3 double crochets into that chain, okay? So to make a double crochet, wrap the yarn around the hook, insert it into that chain, bring up a loop. You'll have 3 loops on the hook. Wrap yarn around hook, bring through the first 2 loops, wrap yarn around hook, bring it through the next 2 loops, okay? So that was 1 double crochet, and we're going to do 3. So this is 2 and 3, just like that, okay? Once again, we're going to skip 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, and in the next chain, we're going to work a single crochet. So insert the hook into that chain and bring up a loop. You'll have 2 loops on your hook this time. Wrap yarn around hook, bring it through both loops. Okay? Then we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then work 3 double crochets into that same chain. Okay? So 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, and 3 double crochet. Just like that. Then we're going to just repeat the sequence across until we get almost to the end, okay? So we're going to go through all this together. If you're finding that you're getting the hang of it and kind of memorizing it, you can skip ahead. Okay, so once again, we're going to skip 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, and in the next chain, work a single crochet, then chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 3 double crochet into that same chain, okay? So 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, and 3 double crochet, just like that, okay? So we have the beginning. See these little points we're creating? We're going to be creating those all the way across, okay? So skip 3 chains, and in the chain after that, work a single crochet. We're just repeating that same sequence. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and in that same chain, work 3 double crochets, okay? So 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, and 3 double crochet, okay? Repeat that sequence again. Skip 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, and in the chain after that, work a single crochet, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 3 double crochet in that same chain. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay? Then we're going to skip 3 chains once again, 1, 2, 3, and in the chain after that, work a single crochet. And then chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 3 double crochets in that same chain. So 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, and 3 double crochet. All right, skip 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, and in the chain after that, work a single crochet, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and 3 double crochet in the same chain. 1, 2, and 3. Okay? All right, we're moving right along. We're going to skip the next 3 chains. So 1, 2, 3, and in the next chain, single crochet, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 3 double crochets into the same chain. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. Next, we're going to skip 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, and in the chain after that, work a single crochet. We're going to pick up a little bit of speed here because we're just repeating the same thing, okay? Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then in that same chain, 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3, okay? Next, skip 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, and in the chain after that, work your single crochet, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 3 double crochet into the same chain. So 1, 2, and 3, just like that. Skip 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, and in the chain after that, work your single crochet. And then just to recap a little bit, you can see we have all these points going across. We're a little less than halfway through, okay? All right, we just did our single crochet and we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and work 3 double crochet in the same chain. 1, 2, and 3. All right, skip 3 chains. 1, 2, 3, and in the next chain, single crochet, chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and then 3 double crochets into that same chain. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, skip 3 chains. 1, 2, sometimes they're hard to see. 1, 2, 3, and in the chain after that, work your single crochet, chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and then 3 double crochets into that same chain. So 1, 2, and 3. Skip the next 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, and in the chain after that, work a single crochet and chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and work 3 double crochets into the same chain. So 1, 2, and 3. All right, moving right along, skip the next 3 chains, and in the chain after that, work a single crochet and chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and work 3 double crochets into the same chain. So 1, 2, and 3. We just have a little bit of chain left, okay? Not too much longer. So skip the next 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, and in the chain after that, work a single crochet and chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and work 3 double crochets into that same chain. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay, just like that. All right, skip the next 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, and in the chain after that, work a single crochet and chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and work 3 double crochets into that same chain. So 1, 2, and 3, just like that. Okay, now when you have just 4 chains left, 1, 2, 3, 4, what we're going to do is we're going to skip 3 chains once again, and then in that last chain, we're going to just work a double crochet to finish the row. Okay, so skip 3 chains, and in that last chain, work a double crochet. Now I wanted to point out that sometimes when we're doing something long, like a blanket or a shawl, something with lots of starting chains like this, sometimes you might be short a chain at the end of the row. Sometimes you might have an extra just if you counted, your count was a little off. It's totally fine if you needed to just skip 2 chains and do a double crochet in that last one, that's okay. It's not going to make a huge difference. So if you're off by like 10 chains though, that might be a problem. But if you're off by a chain or 2, just skip to the last chain and put that double crochet in there and it'll sort of like blend. You won't even know. If you're off by a lot more though, I would consider starting over. Okay. So what we're going to do now is move on to row 2. Now later we're going to stick with the purple for now. We're going to do a couple rows of the purple before we switch. And when we go on to our next color, I'll show you how to switch colors and, but we're not quite ready to do that yet. So what we want to do is move on to row 2, okay? Row 2 is a little bit easier just because we're not counting chains and skipping and things like that. So row 2 is the row that you'll actually be repeating for the rest of your shawl. So what we want to do for row 2, I'm going to come back in so you can see, is we're going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're not going to worry about this tail right now. And then we're going to turn our work, okay? So, oh, before we proceed, I just wanted to show you, we have our points here. You should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 points. If you change the multiples with your starting chain, your points will obviously be a different count. But if you did the same starting chain number as me, you'll have 17 points, just as a side note. Okay, so anyway, we chained 4 and we turned our work. Okay, so to start the row, how it's written in the pattern is it says work 3 double crochets into the first chain from the turning chain that you just worked. So remember we did a chain 4 and turned? If you go down to the bottom here and kind of open it up, see how there's a loop right here? See that loop right here? We're going to work into that, okay? So it sounds a little more complicated in the written pattern, but you're just going to go down to the base of that chain, look for that loop, and work it in there, okay? We're going to work 3 double crochets into that. So again, it's written as the first chain from the turning chain that you just worked, okay? So work your 3 double crochets right down at the base of that chain. So 1, 2, and 3. Let me get my little yarn blobs kind of following me around here. And then we're going to work a single crochet, and this is how it's written in the pattern. If you're looking at the pattern on the blog, the link is below. A lot of you like to print it out or get the ad-free PDF from my shop and kind of follow along. So how it's written in the pattern is we're gonna work a single crochet into the first chain 3 space from the previous row. So all that means is, see these points that we made? Remember that chain 3 we did? That created a little space here. So at the top of the point here is a little space. You can see it in all the points, okay, right there. We're going to work a single crochet into that chain 3 space. It's basically the space at the top point, okay? So go right into that chain 3 space, bring up a loop, work your single crochet, okay? Then you can kind of turn it if it's a little easier to work. We're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to work 3 double crochets into that same chain 3 space. So 1, 2, and 3. Super easy once you get the hang of it and kind of know what you're looking at. If you've ever done a corner to corner project, this is very similar. It's just kind of like stripes instead of squares, okay? All right, we're going to do the same thing. Hop over to that next point, look for that chain 3 space, sort of at the top of the point there. Go right into that chain 3 space and work a single crochet. Then chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and work 3 double crochets into that same chain 3 space. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay, let's do a few more of these together, and then we're going to kind of zip along and do the row a little quicker. Okay, hop over to that next point, work a single crochet in that chain 3 space, same thing we did before, and chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and then work 3 double crochets into that same chain 3 space. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay. All right, we'll do a couple more together. Go over to that next point, go in that chain 3 space, work your single crochet, chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and 3 double crochets into that chain 3 space. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay. We're starting to get some really pretty kind of side-by-side, topsy-turvy looking blocks. Very pretty. And this will really start to pop when we change colors, okay? All right, we're going to go over to that next chain 3 space, that top of that point, and work a single crochet, then a chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and then 3 double crochets into that chain 3 space. So 1, 2, and 3. All right, hop over to that next point, work a single crochet in that chain 3 space and chain 3. Then work 3 double crochets in the same space. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, if you've kind of mastered this row, you can skip one ahead or you can hang out with me and we'll finish the row together. Okay, work a single crochet in that chain 3 space and chain 3. Then work 3 double crochets in that same space. 1, 2, 3. All right. single crochet in that chain 3 space and chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and 3 double crochets in that same chain 3 space, okay? Just like that. All right, we're about halfway through, okay? Work a single crochet in that chain 3 space and chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and 3 double crochets in that same space. 1, 2, and 3. Single crochet in that chain 3 space and chain 3. And then 3 double crochet in the same space. 1, 2, and 3. Single crochet in the next chain 3 space and chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and 3 double crochet in the same space. 1, 2, 3. There's lots of 3s in this pattern, so you'll be counting to 3 a lot. All right, single crochet in the next chain 3 space and chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and 3 double crochet in the same space. 1, 2, and 3, just like that. And then, let me just get my yarn situated here. Single crochet in the next chain 3 space and chain 3, 3 double crochet in the same space. 1, 2, and 3. Single crochet in the next chain 3 space and chain 3. 3 double crochet in that space. 1, 2, and 3. Hop one over, single crochet in the next chain 3 space and chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and then 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, we are almost at the end of row 2. Work a single crochet in the next chain 3 space, chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and 3 double crochet in the same space. 1, 2, and 3, just like that. Now, once you get to the end of the row, we're not going to do the same thing in the next space here. See how there's also a space at the end of this row? What we're going to do to finish the row is you're going to locate the topmost chain of the turning chain. So over here off to the side was our turning chain. Just look for that topmost chain. It's not this loop here. That's part of that double crochet, but it's just one over from that, okay? So you might need to like turn it a little bit, look at it. Make sure when you go into that stitch though, that chain rather, you're picking up 2 loops on your chain. Otherwise it's going to pull it out and kind of distort it. Okay, so you're just going to work a single crochet in that topmost chain of that turning chain at the end of the row. Okay, so we have completed rows 1 and 2 together and it looks great. It's got a lot of really pretty texture and it's really going to start popping out. Those beautiful stitches we're making, they're really going to start popping out when we start to change colors. So I'm going to keep going. You just need to repeat row 2 over and over and over again until your shawl is as long as you would like it to be. Okay, just coming up to the end of the row, working those last few stitches. And then what we're going to do is cut our yarn, just grab some scissors, give it a trim, and wrap the yarn around the hook, bring it through the loop, and fasten everything off. And our shawl is complete. Now, I wanted to point out, look at all these beautiful colors. It's such a happy, fun little shawl. And we did 6 rows of each color, if I didn't mention that before. I liked the thickness of stripe I was getting. Now you can do however many rows you want depending on your yarn and how you want it to look. Obviously more rows will make thicker stripes. So the last thing we need to do is take care of all these ends, okay? So let's do one together and then we can kind of do the rest on our own. So I have here this purple end. We can just come in a little bit here. And I'm just going to grab my tapestry needle and thread the needle. And then we're going to go in one direction with our needle into these stitches, just like that. Just go in a ways, and then we're going to come back in the other direction, and that'll help lock that into place. And then grab your scissors again. I'll give that a tug. Grab your scissors, give it a little trim, And then you're just going to repeat for the other ends. Now, because we have stripes here, for example, this blue, we don't want to let it travel into this purple because it'll show. Stay in the same color and it'll be hidden very nicely. Okay, so repeat for the other ends and then we'll rejoin and look at our finished beautiful shawl. Okay, we've woven in all the ends and it looks absolutely beautiful. It's soft, it's happy and fun and bright, and that's it. That is how you crochet the birthday cake crochet shawl. Thanks so much for watching, and be sure and click the subscribe button to get all the latest Fiberflex video updates. Thanks again.